Hello everyone, my name is Rebecca. Let's talk about makeup. So, are we ready for some ColourPan? This is coming out to you a little bit late, like most of my recent videos. But hey, we're getting it done, okay? It's been a busy month. We all have a lot going on. Just consider this like a bonus video, okay? One that you weren't expecting to get at all. All right, so the ColourPan Project Pan was created by Misty at Misty Pans, and the whole purpose of the project was to help us get better use out of our ColourPan collections, including Colourpop's little sister brands, Fourth Ray Beauty, and Soul Body. Now, I have a fair amount of Colourpop, so the way I've been doing this project is I am rolling in one of my Colourpop palettes every single month with the intent to get through all of my Colourpop palettes by the end of the year. However, I have recently acquired a couple more Colourpop palettes, and I already had 14. I was going to need to double up a couple months out of this year, and now I need to double up 4 months out of this year in order to get through all of my Colourpop palettes. So I think this month is one of those months that I'm going to need to draw 2 palettes. I have pretty low usage goals for all of these products because I have a lot, and my goal is to get through all of it, is just to play a little bit with all of my Colourpop makeup. We're not finishing anything. I'm probably not going to pan anything. We're just playing with as much makeup as we can. So what I rolled last month was my Colourpop That's Taupe eyeshadow palette. This is just, listen, this is just a solid neutral, slightly cool leaning, just easy palette. This was a really, really nice palette to have this month. I had a lot going on. There were a lot of days where I just needed to not think about what was going on my eyes. And this was a really, really great palette to not have to think too much. You can't go wrong. There's no messing up with this palette. It is a very simple, easy, neutral, lovely palette. You can go in with just barely anything, and you can actually build this up to a very glam look if you want to. So I had this in for 5 uses, and I used it 6 times. We'll do a little swatching, and we'll talk about how many times I used each one of these shadows. So we're starting with this first row. This is Boa, Pebble Beach, and Python. I used Boa twice, Pebble Beach twice, and Python 3 times. Python is probably my favorite shade in the whole palette. It's that neutral, rosy loveliness that I really enjoy. So that's Boa. Can you even see Boa? There you go. Pebble Beach. And then Python. You can see that is definitely just, that shade is right up my alley. Next we have 3 of the palette's 4 shimmers. This is Slated, which is, I think this is a Super Shock, Snake Eyes, and Cold Blooded. I used Slated 3 times, Snake Eyes 3 times, and Cold Blooded once. Oh my gosh, Slated. Look how pretty she is. Snake Eyes is kind of a darker, pinkier, slightly pinky neutral shimmer. And then this one's Cold Blooded. So pretty. Fair warning. A lot of glitter in these. Fair warning. You've got to be a little bit careful, especially I think with Slated, if you are concerned about fallout. Last row here is Rock Steady on the bottom, Constrictor, and then Bedrock is this last one. I used Rock Steady. This is Rock Steady. I used this one 4 times. Then there is Constrictor, and that one I used twice. I don't have as much use for a dark shimmer, just in the way that I prefer to do my eye makeup, but I did use it twice. Then I used Bedrock, this dark brown here. I used it 5 times. So almost every single look that I did with this palette, I used Bedrock. When I'm using these palettes, even though the usage goal is quite low, my intent is to, rather than using these as companion palettes for anything else, is to get really a whole comprehensive look out of the palette every single time. And because of that, I feel like that 5 uses really does give me a very good picture of how useful the palette is to me and how much I really enjoy it. And this one, yes, it is a very neutral, one might say boring palette, but it is also really, really pretty, and it's really, really easy. I love this palette. It is one of my favorite neutral palettes. I'm so glad it's in my collection, and I had a lot of fun using it this month. In addition to that, I have a product that is a forever product, which is in the project until it's done. That is my ColourPop Ultra Glossy Lip in the shade Champagne Mommy. And she's done, y'all. Look at this. I even went in here with a spatula and scraped out as much as I possibly could get out of this tube and put it in a little container. I used her, I used her 15 times since the last update, and she is donezo. She is gone. I'm so pleased with having completed a lip gloss. Now, under most circumstances, I would consider this as completing my low buy. I'm on a replacement low buy for lip glosses, so under normal circumstances, this would be like a go ahead for me to buy another lip gloss. But I broke my low buy. I broke my lip gloss low buy, I think in, what was it, in April? I bought this buxom lip gloss. So still on no buy, y'all. No new lip glosses are permitted, but I am really, really pleased to have finished that one. I had a couple of other lip products. Actually, I had one other lip product, which was my lippy sticks in the shade Cami. Now, the previous month, I'd had the lippy sticks in the shade Fab. Now, this one, Fab, I struggled to use because it's just very warm on me. It pulls just a little orangey in a way that I don't find appealing. However, Cami is much cooler, but is a little more saturated than I really enjoy. And I discovered that if I just blended the two of these together, I really, really like them so much better than I like either of them individually. Do you see that pretty shade that makes? I'm actually wearing it today. It has worn off a tiny bit because it's been a while since I put it on, but I just really, really like the two of these together. However, despite really enjoying the two of these together, this was very much a lip gloss month for me. I traveled a lot this month. I spent probably over 40 hours in a moving vehicle and most of that was with small children. So this was very much a chapstick / lip gloss month for me. And because of that, I only used this combo 3 times, and that's including today. So we are going to keep these in for another 2 uses. I will be spinning to replace, technically the only one that's in the project right now is Cami. I will be spinning to replace it. I just need 2 more uses and I can roll these 2 out, but didn't quite make that one. I have another product actually that's in perpetually until it's done, and that is my Drop of a Hat Super Shock Blush. It's this one right here. This is the limited edition packaging, but I do believe that you can get it as part of the permanent line as well. I used Drop of a Hat. I used it 10 times this month, and this is what she's looking like. I do believe I have before and after pictures. So 26.15 grams is how it came in. She is now weighing at 19.54 grams. Seems like a lot of grams to have used in 10 uses. Take that as you will. I'm not 100% sure that's accurate, but that's what I've got, okay? I do feel like I'm making pretty good progress with this blush. I am enjoying her. She's staying in until she is done. I actually have 2 blushes in the project this month, and the second one is my matte Super Shock blush in the shade Birthday Suit. It's this one right here. This is how she's looking. I actually panned this one on camera in my last update while I was swatching her for you. So let me swatch both of these for you. Why not? Why not? This one, Drop of a Hat, it's probably one of my favorite blushes of all time. It's this beautiful peachy golden, it's delicious on the cheeks. This is Birthday Suit, a nice cool pink. I don't love it as much. I tend to like a glowy blush more than a matte blush, but I have found that the 2 of these together is really pretty. It's what I'm wearing today. I have Drop of a Hat back here, and I like to put Birthday Suit just on the apples, and I feel like it just kind of pulls everything together. I really enjoy the combination of these 2 blushes. She is not in here to complete, but I have used her 9 times. I'm not going to give you the starting and the ending weight for this one simply because I did have to add a fair amount of Duraline in order to bring her back to her present state of hydration. I really did enjoy this. I think I will probably, she is in my 24 and 24, so I probably will continue to use these two together. But for the purposes of this project, I'm rolling her out so that we can get something new in. My last product was this. This is my Super Shock eyeshadow in the shade Frog. This is a really pretty one. Very, very flaky and beautiful. I brought this in for 5 uses and I used it 5 times. I actually did end up having to rehydrate this one as well, so she is also weighing more now than she did when I rolled her in. However, in the course of our 5 uses, we ended up with a little bit of pan. I don't know if you can see it there, but there's a little bit of that metal pan right there in the middle. I know it's not terribly hard to pan a Super Shock, but I'm pleased with it nonetheless. That is rolling out after 5 uses. Okay, so we are going to spin for 2 new eyeshadow palettes. Here I have this wheel, and this is all of my Colourpop eyeshadow palettes, with the exception of the eyeshadow palettes that have already been featured in this project. So here we go. Here's the first one. Wild Child. Oh my gosh, that's so exciting. And then Or Kid You Not. That's very exciting as well. Okay, so this is a wheel with all of my other Colourpop products, which minus the ones we've already used in this project. And we're getting down here to the bare bones a little bit, which actually might be a good thing, seeing how many palettes that I need to get through. So we're gonna spin for 3 of these. This is my lip gloss in Flying Horses. This is actually currently in my lip service project right now, and it is in my 24 and 24. Listen, I don't have a single problem, not one, with double dipping. So I'm happy to pull this one in, and hopefully we can get her finished like we did Champagne Mommy. All right, so that's number 1. So this is my Jelly Much shadow in the shade Bouquet. We already used my Jelly Much shadow in the shade Big Ego, I believe it was. So it'll be good to get a little use on this one as well. Last one. My Blotted Lip in Cypress Chill. Okay, I'm gonna go grab all of those products and I will be back in just a minute. Okay. We have a lot of swatching to do, so let's get to it. First, this is Or Kid You Not. It is this beautiful plummy purple. Look at this. Now, to be perfectly honest, I have had a lot of purple and pink in my rotation over the last 5 months in this project and in other projects, and I'm getting a little tapped out on purple and pink. I know that's crazy to hear from me, but we're going to put her through her paces anyway. I'm going to swatch this one for you. We're going to start at the top row here. This is Pretty One, Rebloom, and Of All Purple. Of All Purple? Really? Okay. I guess I've never really looked at the names of this one. So, let me... Okay, I still have some... some glitter and some lippy stick on there. We're just gonna ignore that, okay? So this is Pretty One. Such a pretty lilac shimmer. Look at that. Oh my goodness. Then this one is Rebloom, which is this gorgeous mid-tone berry. And then Of All Purple is this kind of blue-purple duochrome. Gorgeous. On the next row we have Moth, OMG, and Ada. I don't understand these shade names at all. Don't understand them at all. So this is Moth, this beautiful deep, oh my goodness. Look how pretty she is. This is Moth. One's coming off a little sheer. And then this is Ada here. Do you see that beautiful berry color? So pretty. And here at the bottom we have Buddies, Seedling, and Nuh-uh. Okay. Feel like very random shade names. So this is Buddies, which is this beautiful deep purple. Oh my gosh, look at that. Oh, so pretty. This is Seedling. It's a gorgeous shimmer. I don't use darker shimmers a ton, but that is a really pretty one. And then this last one is Nuh-Uh. Oh my goodness. She could swatch for years. Look at that. That is a beautiful color palette. I have been using a lot of pinks and purples over this last 5-6 months or so. But oh my goodness, is that not gorgeous? Next we have the Child palette. Very much appeals to the Star Wars geek in me. We're starting with the top row. This is Precious Cargo, Right Hand Mando, and Just Like a Tatooine. We've got Precious Cargo. It's that kind of yellowy gold color. It could be nice for an inner corner. It's not the sort of thing I think I'd wear all over the lid. It's got a little bit too much yellow in it for my taste. But on the inner corner, that one would be nice. Then this is Right Hand Mando, which is this gorgeous sage green shimmer. Oh, it's so freaking pretty. Look at that. I'm actually curious though. I have a Super Shock by Colourpop in the shade Corsage. And it is also kind of a sagey green, and I'm curious how they compare. I have it right here in front of me. Just curious what the similarities are. So that's that's Right Hand Mando. This one's definitely a little bit more green, kind of celery-ish, kind of a celery green. This would be complementary with this palette though, this Super Shock. So a little bit of a difference there, not quite a dupe. And then the third one in that row was Just Like a Tatooine, which is this very neutral beige that just kind of fades right into my skin tone. You probably can't even, okay, you can see it just a little bit right there. Okay, second row here, we have Sipping Soup, Babyface, and The Force. I'm a little bit flaky, that one. Okay, so Sipping Soup. That's pretty, a little bit more green than either of these actually. And then Babyface, which is this matte pale green that's not swatching so well. Oh, there we go. Okay, that's a little bit better. And then we have The Force, which is this very flaky green gold. I personally prefer golds that are a little bit more on the champagne side, but if they're going to have more saturation to them, I do like a greener kind of old, like you know, the OG MAC old gold pigment. How many of you remember that pigment? Gosh, I loved that. I was obsessed with that pigment back in the day. But yeah, so that one is The Force. I like the green that's in there. I feel like it kind of takes the edge off of the brassiness and makes it a little bit more wearable, especially on my skin tone, which is a little smidge on the cooler side. I know it doesn't look like that in the camera. I know. Every time I edit a video, I'm like, what are you talking about, woman? You do not have a cool undertone. But I do. I promise you, in real life, I do have a slightly cool, grayish, muted undertone. Okay. On the bottom here, we have Little Frog, Float Your Crib, and Droid Protocol. So Little Frog is right here. Ooh, that's a delicious green right there. That feels like, this one reminds me a lot of the greens in the Avocado Toast palette. This one seems to be a sequin. It's got a little bit of shimmer through it. For those of you that are irritated by a sequin shade, use a fluffy brush and the shimmer won't show up. If you pack it on, you'll see the shimmer. If you use a fluffy brush, all of that shimmer will get flicked away. And then this is Float Your Crib, beautiful deep green. Oh, I'm gonna get some good green looks out of this, aren't I? And this last one is Droid Protocol, which is this deep, rich brown. More on the neutral side, not super warm, not super cool. That is just a lovely palette. I am just itching to get this on my eyes. All right, so that is, with the exception of this one. This was my Super Shock in Corsage. I'm really excited to dig into this one. Okay, I also have Bouquet. This is my Jelly Much eyeshadow in Bouquet. Let's see what the state of this one is. I don't think I've opened her for a while. Ooh, ooh, still pretty well hydrated. I don't think I'm going to have to put any Inglot Duraline on this one. So she is a little bit more on the pink side. This is how she's looking, and this is the swatch. That is a very pretty kind of a neutrally soft beigey pink shimmer. I think it's coming across pretty well on camera as well. This is a lovely color. There's some gold sparkle in there and a hint of purple. Very pretty. I actually think this is going to go really, really well with, or kid you not, I think these two here are going to be lovely together. Okay. I tried really hard to find my Ultra Blotted Lip in Cypress Chill. I could not find it. I actually haven't seen it for quite a while, and I'm wondering if it is something I decluttered to a friend recently. I recently decluttered some things to a friend. I thought I'd kept pretty good track, but I can't find this lipstick, y'all. So what I'm going to do instead of waiting to find it is I'm just going to go back in. This is all we have left. We have 2 products left on this wheel. This is all we haven't rolled yet. So I'm going to pick one of these 2 products. And it's this Super Shock in Corsage. Either this is going to pair up really nicely with the Child palette, or it's going to overlap a little too much. I guess we'll find out. We'll find out, but I'm going to roll that one in for 5 uses. Last thing I have to show you is this is my Colourpop Ultra Glossy Lip in the shade Flying Horses. She's been in my purse for a while, so she hasn't really settled, but I believe that we're right about here. So not too far off, not too far off. Although if I've learned anything from completing this one, it's that there's more in here than I think there is. I mean, we're right about here, but I'm guessing that's going to be another 30 uses probably. So you know what? I'm going to roll this one into finish. We're going to finish this one. Since we don't have a lot of other non-palette Colourpop products to go through, I'm going to go ahead and roll this into finish. Okay, so that's this next month sorted. We've got our 2 Forever products, Flying Horses and Drop of a Hat. They will be in the project until they are both done. And then we have 2 new eyeshadow palettes, 2 new single shadows. I just rolled in a single shadow into my deck of panning as well. So we'll see how it goes. It's only 5 uses each, so hopefully I will be able to get those uses. And then I am rolling through from last month my color sticks. I'm considering, because I really am only interested in using these sticks together, I'm going to consider them the same product for the purposes of this project. So these ones are staying in for 2 more uses. All right, so that is it. Wish me luck. I think I'm going to need it. I have so many eyeshadow palettes to work on right now. So many. Thank you so much for spending this time with me, and I will see you in the next one.